Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
So
It's because cats don't buy off Amazon. You know where they buy?
where?
Emu.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week we choose a popular English saying and take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, if we're lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its origins, its usage, but mostly we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I'm Skitty.
Are you?
After 6 years, you've got that pretty down pat now.
I'm sad that I still glance down at my little note because I'm like, educational. There's 5 stages of introducing this podcast.
It's a tricky one for sure. I was thinking about today's idiom, which we will get into the introduction shortly. I was reminded of like an incident with your son that I will rope in sideways.
Okay. You're talking about beetle bat?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one time he had it in mind when he got a shock collar.
I was just telling this story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he got a shock. We played basketball. I can't remember if we were playing like donkey.
I think you were playing horse, yeah.
Horse. Is that what it is? Donkey, horse, whatever.
We played either pig or horse, depending on
Okay.
how long you want the game to be.
Real short game, like ostrich or something. Or is it by how many legs it has, or is it
How many
much?
letters?
Okay.
Yeah, you spell the word. You
Okay.
play pig,
Cow.
horse, or rhinoceros.
Okay, well, that's a good one. Brontosaurus. And yeah, if you goofed up, then you took one to the neck. You got
Yeah.
the shock collar to the neck.
Was it? Did you have to bark, or did you have a button? Was it a remote?
No, it was a remote. So in terms of like, it's supposed to be for barking. You put it on the dog,
Right.
But we wanted to shock each other to see how bad it was.
So if you missed your shot,
yeah, you got shocked.
you got shocked.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's like sweatiness or like something that gives good conductivity.
But it was particularly shocking.
Yeah, it was a good one. Like it was enough to like.
It's meant to stop like a Rottweiler from barking. So
We didn't have it. We had it on low settings, but regardless, you can still feel that.
I remember this video. It's like didn't you also crank it up like level 1, level 2, level 3?
I don't recall that part.
I do remember.
I didn't recall a lot afterwards. Actually, I can't remember the first.
I do
few years
recall
before then.
Beetlebat reacting way less than I expected. Like, okay, all right.
Maybe he didn't want to have his shame
On
immortalized on
Yeah.
video.
I saw a similar video just this week with a barking shock collar on the husband and wife team on her neck.
Mm-hmm.
He has the remote in the passenger seat, and they go through a drive-through, and just randomly while she's ordering. And the funniest one was they're handing her the drink, and he doesn't shock her until she brings the drink in and shocks it, and her grip, like it explodes in her hand. She's like half being shocked, half shocked at this explosion of pop. That was great.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so it's that shock collar. So whether it's bark activated or by your best friends, then it's still an effective device.
I do remember trying it with you. I think we just put it on our leg, though. Like, how much of a shock can you take?
It's quite amazing how much can be delivered out
It's
of.
a shock.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Anyways, it was that probably a segue us into a bit of today's idiom.
Well, let's do this
Oh,
then.
honey, you're so barking up the wrong tree right now, really.
Hey, it's barking up the wrong tree. Hey, barking up the wrong tree, which of course is used when you're. You know, it's funny. I wanted to get an exact description, so I went to the internets
That's a good place.
to say definition.
Did you
of,
try Reddit?
of this. Yeah,
Good.
and then Quora, and then Temu, just for fun. Is it Temu or Temu?
Depends if you're a cat or not.
Emu. That's funny. So anyway, I went and it is described on every page differently than I thought it was used. So while my definition is correct, it had a lot of other definitions as well. So I always viewed barking up the wrong tree like you're asking the person the wrong questions or the
Right.
wrong person.
Right.
You're asking the wrong person the questions. So
It's because cats don't buy off Amazon. You know where they buy?
where?
Emu. You're barking up the wrong tree, Fred.
So, yeah, but they said anytime oh shoot, I didn't even write it down. They said anytime you're just going the wrong path at all. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm gonna look at it now.
Okay, so to fill in this particular time, the premise being, do you apply motives to the questions people ask?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Barking Up the Wrong Tree could be that a question is being asked of you, and you have a motive implied in your answering because you think that the person is asking for these reasons. And so based on what you think their motivation is. So for example, okay. So how much do you weigh?
Like, are you actually asking
Like
this
seriously?
question?
No, like after Christmas and everything. Like how much do you weigh?
I'm 193 or something.
Okay. I have some great things that I want to give you.
Okay.
See, so now, if you feel that the motivation is berating because you're maybe you think I'm calling you a lard butt or something like that.
Oh, you're 193. I got something you could use.
Right.
Which direction is he going with this?
Right. So based on what you think people's motivation for asking is, determines, your response to things.
But that's not necessarily barking up the wrong. Well, I guess if you're assuming something. That goes back to what I said.
You're heading this in the wrong direction. Right?
This was a generalized definition that I found on multiple sites. If you're barking up the wrong tree, it means that you've completely misunderstood something or are totally wrong. But to me, that's not what barking up the wrong tree is. Just being wrong or misunderstanding. No, it's if you're being inquisitive at the wrong source. It's like, I'd like a drink of Kool-Aid, so you're at the mouth of a river. Like, well, you're barking up the wrong tree. There's no Kool-Aid in a river. So it's not that you're just wrong. It's that you're searching for answers in the wrong place is how I've always used it. But obviously the internet is right.
Did you hang out with all your friends this New Year's? Hanging out?
Not all of them, no.
Well, that makes sense.
What's happening right now?
Well, no.
Is this your tone? Is this like the backhanded? Is this what you're talking about?
Based on what you think I'm inferring?
If you say that makes sense, you're not more than inferring. You're saying nobody wanted to hang out. Did everybody get together and I wasn't invited?
No, not everybody. But based on, so I was like, so you're coming at it from a different place. I'm viewing it more in that what you think the hidden motivations are.
So barking up the wrong tree is because you've misheard something. So you have more in line with what everybody else is saying, barking up the wrong tree. I just meant barking was you being the one drawing attention to, or let's say you're reprimanding somebody for something. They're like, whoa, you were barking up the wrong tree. That was that guy over there. So
you cook all your meals at home, don't you?
Pardon me?
You cook all your meals at home. You're like the kind of guy who,
Mostly, what do you?
Your situation.
What do you cook out in the street?
You cook your meals at home. So I
Where
don't
else
know why
are you gonna cook?
Well, no, some people like purchase their meals, but you cook them. Yeah,
I cook them at home. Yeah, I used to cook them. At the neighbor's house.
No, that makes sense.
I used to cook them at the park. I switched over to my home.
See how defensive and weird?
About the most normal thing.
Right. Yeah. Because of you're looking for why is he asking me this?
You buy all your clothes at Winners, right? Yeah. I do.
Why would you say that?
It's fashion brands for less.
So you're barking up the wrong tree.
Right.
I don't know, so there's part of it that is self-induced. Barking up the wrong tree. Looking at people's motivations.
What if you were a stage designer?
Okay.
This just came to me right now.
Okay, yeah. Might not be 100% thought out. You're just saying, you're declaring.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Let's say you're a set designer for a huge theatrical, and they're like, we need a forest. We need birch trees and cedar trees. We need fir trees. We need apple orchard over here. And so you got all these trees.
Okay.
And you go to this very classic, you've got them all there. The last step is putting the bark on. And so you've got this white peeling birch tree bark, but you walk over to the apple tree. Wouldn't the head of set design go, whoa, you're barking up the wrong tree?
So one of the games that I had in mind for
game
for this one One was, but it was all visual. It was like seeing if you could identify trees by their barks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, for today.
Yeah, for
I thought it
today.
was like a board game you
No.
bought. I'm like, wow, what a niche board game.
No, it's like usable once until,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
actually know. No, well, you know for today.
Did you do it? Are we doing this?
No, well, they're all visual. And I'm like,
Oh,
that's
right.
terrible
It's
for
a
a podcast. It's a terrible podcast idea. But I did come across this. Okay. This guy, David McClellan, in management circles. This might be useful for all your management stuff that you do at the office.
Okay.
David McClellan, human motives model, also known as the 3 needs theory. David McClellan. Remember that?
Okay.
It may come up later.
Right.
David McClellan. The 3 needs theory, or the acquired needs theory, is a theory that states that people are motivated by 3 main needs: achievement, affiliation, and power. He breaks it down. Achievement people. People with this enjoy solving problems and achieving goals. They may prefer workplaces with a hierarchy and opportunities for promotion. Whereas achievement motivated people with this need enjoy solving problems and affiliation. Sorry, I just said the same thing twice. The affiliation, people with this need value relationship and social connection. They may enjoy working in groups and prefer cooperation over competition.
Got it.
They may also avoid situations where that could lead to rejection. Okay, and finally, the power motivation. People with this need enjoy being in charge and making decisions. They may be competitive and enjoy winning arguments. McClellan's theory suggests that people have varying degrees of each need, but that everyone has one dominant motivator. Now, which one would you say about yourself? Achievement, affiliation, power.
I would say, in this order, I would go achievement. I think I would be in that order: achievement, affiliation, and power.
Are you just saying that because that was the last thing you saw?
I don't know.
Lamp?
I don't know. No, I think achievement is number 1 first. I do like problem solving. I do like finding solutions. I do like
Enjoy workplaces with a hierarchy and opportunities for promotion. Like they're looking to climb ladders, achieve, like this is a motivation to them.
see, except for that part, because that seems like it should fall into power.
Okay. So
Looking for promotions is you're trying to gain more power.
okay.
But like getting something done and like being the guy that, hey, I figured this out and therefore I invented this piece we've never had before.
So if it's the recognition, then it could be an affiliation person. Affiliation.
I'm definitely affiliation. Like
People
I like
with this need
who I work
value
with.
relationships and social connections.
Yeah.
They may enjoy working in groups and prefer cooperation over competition. They may also avoid situations that could lead to rejection.
Yeah, that one, because I love like saying something and it's done with no questions.
It's a dictatorship.
No, that's affiliation, right? You're
That's
affiliated with
affiliation.
those beneath you.
Where you get like an office chair that's just a little bit higher, a little bit special.
That's why I have a standing desk.
There you go. So no matter what, it makes it easier to look down on people.
Yeah, what do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Affiliation is probably a bigger
First?
motivator.
You're a problem solver, though. You like
Well, so it says everyone dabbles in between, but
Right.
I'm not like ramped up about climbing ladders.
Well, see, that's why I think that belongs in power, because I do think you like a problem. Not that you would cause a problem. You
No,
like
no,
okay, let's figure this out now. Like if I mention
different
I have
versions
a
of
car
me.
stereo, you're like, let's put it in now.
So yeah, there was definitely a version of me that was more like this for sure.
If there's an exit room, you're like, we could do this
Exit
today
room.
on our own.
Yeah, a problem like
No hints.
the car stereo. Now I'm like,
Your no hints
cool,
Vince.
Cool. What are you gonna do? That's a problem. What are you gonna do about that?
I see.
So yeah, I
So
don't know.
it's more on an enjoyment, on a leisure level. You'd like to solve
what
a problem.
motivates. And so, anyways, yeah, it's in management. David McClelland, yeah, he's a psychologist, but his work apparently comes up a lot in management related things on what motivates people. Yeah.
McClelland with a D.
Yep. There's a D in there.
McClelland.
McClelland. Yeah. Yeah. There's, the acquired needs theory or the 3 needs theory. Yeah. Things
That's interesting.
different ways, different things that motivate people.
I think my need language is affiliation. Physical. What were they?
You like a physical affiliation?
What was it?
There's power, affiliation, and achievement.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what my need language is.
Your love language is affiliation.
My love language is power. That was interesting.
Acts of service.
I can't remember how we got into this. What was the barking up the wrong tree?
Oh, prescribing motivation to what people say. In the terms of you're barking up the wrong tree. It's like you don't know what
You don't know me.
You don't know me. You don't know what gets like what.
Right.
This may motivate you. This may be a thing for you. The other part that I found weird about like in ascribing motivation to people is like where altruism, all that kind of like, do you just do things because they're good things to do, or do you do them because they make you feel good, and thus you do things that make you feel good?
Yeah,
not because they're
the altruism is a slippery slope conversation, because is there even such a thing as altruism where you do good?
You're right. It's a good
just
question.
because you do feel good after doing good.
Is that why you do that?
There is sometimes reward after doing good. I think you live a better life trying to do good, more contentment, more whatever.
You're barking up the wrong tree, my friend.
But yeah, like, so if altruism means a no reward, I think the only time altruism is in fact altruism is when something is in the moment. Like if you caught a kid that fell off a balcony.
How tall is the balcony?
There was no thought as to,
Did I have
I
time?
wonder if there's a reward
time
for
to pull it.
catching this kid.
You would just do it.
Yeah, you just do it. So, but I think you also train your life. You train yourself to get to that point where you would react in the moment in the same way
How
you
many
would with
situations? How do you train for catching children out of balconies?
thought. It's easier than you think.
Go to a real windy skyscraper laden place.
Let your kids play. You guys stay here. I'll be back. And then you just stand at the bottom.
Well, at a certain point, because that doesn't even make sense. Because after like the 6th or 7th floor, they're going to hit terminal velocity, and then
Right,
you
so
can't catch them.
You don't need to go that
No.
high. Yeah.
That's just crazy.
So most of the ride is for their own benefit, just for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to go to a nice low-rise community if you really want to get into like professional child catching. Want to take your game to a new place?
Professional child catching
Yeah.
is a different.
Like a windy low-rise place. Because if a child gets too fast, you're not catching them.
Right.
No matter how strong you are.
This sounds like a different podcast. How to catch children, no matter how fast they are. You have to call the police, and then you'd hear this.
Barking up the wrong tree, McGruff.
Well, I'm sure this actually has an actual origin outside of.
Dude, do you think the last what,
Sometimes.
4 weeks haven't?
Said some words.
yeah.
Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind.
Yes, indeedy. You could probably guess or imagine where this idiom actually. It does have an orange story. Has an orange-ish
An orange story.
like tangerine
Little
sort
hue?
of. Has a hue of orangeness. The origin of the idiom "barking up the wrong tree" dates back to the early 1800s, and it's from the good old U.S. of A. when hunting with packs of dogs was very popular. So we knew a dog had to be in here.
I would have gone England and hounds or something.
Funny enough, I thought it would be fox hunts and stuff like that, but foxes don't climb trees. So it was American.
Really?
It was American.
That's hilarious.
I actually don't know if they do or don't.
Oh, I was totally believing it.
Yeah, but
I thought I was
I
getting-
don't think I've ever seen a fox in a tree. But it goes back to America with dogs hunting raccoons, who do indeed climb trees. And so it became a competitive thing. So some hunters hold back. So in the beginning stages of coon hunting, as they call it, they would do it for food and fur. Like raccoon is totally an edible animal, or at least used to be before they became city folk. So they would
Braised raccoon.
They would send their dogs. Sometimes they wouldn't even move their spot. They would send the dogs into the forest and just wait. And once they heard the loud barking, like, oh, he's treed. And then they'd go in there and take the raccoon that the dog has treed. But if you get there and there's nothing in the tree, and you hear rustling in the forest over yonder, you know that the dog was barking up the wrong tree.
That makes
So
sense.
the raccoon either
Completely unrelated,
skipped across the branches or whatever.
but lightly related. I was walking Tynehead just on Sunday night, Sunday evening, very dusky, and hoo hoo hoo. You start hearing it's like, oh cool, and then hear another one, hoo hoo hoo, and so it's like, oh, they're talking somehow.
And then this guy comes out.
Who goes there? And lo and behold, up in the tree, we saw him.
Yeah.
An owl. Yep. It's amazing.
I don't know why it's
Amazing.
maybe because it's
Nature.
just not as common, but seeing an owl up close or close-ish is like, oh,
They're big.
yeah.
Yeah, this one was anyway. I don't know if you'd just been, he ate too much or something. It's by the Tim Hortons, so it's swooping down.
Right.
I could see being like an animal up a tree, because there's some of them animals like squirrels and stuff where you see them like when you're camping and they go up one tree and then
Yeah,
30
and-
feet through the
and-
canopy and then come back down a different tree.
Totally. I remember being surprised. I was actually hunting, but not as exciting as it sounds. I was like maybe 14 with my cousins in Alberta,
Okay.
and we took 22 rifles.
Famously tall trees in Alberta as well.
22 rifle, not 22 rifles, but
Way up the tree, like
rifles
10 feet.
that shot 22s.
I see.
And we found a porcupine in the tree.
Oh.
And I'm like, I would have never pictured a porcupine in a tree, which is why I'm now Googling, do foxes climb trees? All right. Before I hit enter, what do you think?
I'm trying to think of all. I'm going to go. I like your no.
Yes, foxes can climb trees, and gray foxes are particularly known for their tree climbing abilities.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is a
So
lie.
there you go.
That
So-
movie's a lie.
But my movie reference was, do you remember the movie Red Fern? No, what's it called?
Fern Gully?
Where the red fern grows?
No.
So-
Between two red ferns?
This is like one of those memories, like good family days when I was a kid. My whole family sitting around watching this Disney live action movie
Wow.
from the 70s or early 80s called Where the Red Fern Grows. And it's about coon hunting. And so, as is true with this idiom's origin, coon hunting went from necessity of hunting raccoons to competitive. And it still exists to this day. There's coon hunting competitions where they don't even kill the raccoon at the end. It's all about how fast can your dog get a raccoon in the tree, and bark enough for you to get there. That's a win. That's one. Move along. That's two. And training coon hounds, they're called, starts when they're 6 months old, and they start to learn the scent by dragging like the carcass of a raccoon around the yard. And,
Nice.
And all that. And then some dogs, which are certain breeds are better than others, but some dogs become hot-nosed or cold-nosed. Hot-nosed means not only can you smell the raccoon, first of all, they have to be trained to smell the raccoon and ignore the other animals in the forest. Like it's all about the raccoon. So if you're chasing a raccoon and a squirrel goes by, that dog
Skips over it.
skips over it and goes for the raccoon. But hot-nosed and cold-nosed, hot-nosed means not only can you ignore the other creatures and follow raccoons only, but you can tell what's a newer smell than another smell. So if there's two raccoon smells, you know that the fresher smell is this direction, and that's a hot-nosed dog. And a cold-nosed dog can't tell the difference.
This is too much information.
Yeah. It makes me want to go.
coon
Like,
hunting.
can I go to a coon hunt competition just to watch?
Well, we should get dogs, I guess.
And raccoon
It sounds
fur.
Like sounds like a really extensive kind of like hobby to have.
It does.
Yeah.
You have to find your hound first.
And then the 6 months of preparation, and then you don't know, is this a hot nose or a cold nose hound?
During the Depression, raccoons were food and clothing.
Really?
Like average Joe, like, let's get us some raccoons.
I wouldn't trust eating a raccoon because those things root through garbage.
Which president was it that was kind of famous for being gifted exotic animals? And they had a pet in the White House of a raccoon that they fell in love with and kept. But originally, it was brought into the White House to be like some like Easter dinner or something.
Crazy.
And
Like, pardon the
the
raccoon.
kids or somebody was like, let's keep him. And apparently, this thing just demolished.
Yeah, they're
Like,
destructive.
yeah, it was destroying the White House all the time. But
sounds
there
like a
was a
terrible
pet
idea.
raccoon at the White House at one time. Wish I could remember that.
You were just full of useless information
It's
today.
mostly
It's really
useless,
good.
yeah.
There's good water cooler conversation material here. Did you know that foxes do climb trees? Fantastic Mr. Fox was a lie.
Why did he say that he couldn't?
No, I just never saw it.
Calvin Coolidge and First Lady Grace Coolidge, they had a pet raccoon. It's bugging me.
Calvin Coolidge, you can take all this to the office tomorrow. You're good.
You're welcome. All right, lastly, the earliest known printed citation as an idiom was in James Kirk Paulding's Westward Ho in 1832. And it goes a little something like this. Here he made a note in his book, and I begun to smoke him for one of those fellows that drive a sort of trade of making books about old Kentuck and the western country. So I thought I'd set him barking up the wrong tree a little and told him some stories that were enough to set the Mississippi afire. But he put them all down in his book. So idiomatic use, barking up the wrong tree, lying to an author just to send him in the wrong direction.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of good material there, man.
Hey, I am nothing if not one more clip.
Perhaps we're barking up the wrong tree, as they say.
Is that Kit?
That's KIT, which stands for what? Let's test the 80s. KITT.
Technical? Is that in there? Terminal? Technical terminal? Killing?
Literally, because you're saying things, I'm blanking out. I know that the first two letters, and now I'm literally... Oh, yeah, now I remember.
Okay. Let's go for it.
Knight Industries 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was way less interesting than I thought. Anyways. Well, that's good.
That's
good.
it. That's it.
Hey,
That's good.
There's one more tidbit to take to the water cooler.
Hey, take your bits of tids and share that.
Perfect. Well, we should wrap this baby up.
Well, that's no better way than to say Riddle-Link is a game we like to play that takes a two-part trivia-based question and requires a two-part overlapping answer, overlapping by sound, syllable, word, or word. So, for example, last week, what was our idiom last week? It was as high as a kite. And we left everybody with this one. The school in the movie Grease is so exciting, I'm soaring. The school in the movie Grease is so exciting, I'm soaring. Now, you have to know the actual name of the high school from Grease, do you? So the answer is Rydell High as a Kite.
Okay.
Rydell High, school in Greece, high as a kite. So the correct answer is the full thing overlapping. Rydell High as a Kite.
I know Sky High as a kite.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
That is how you play Riddle-Link.
Well, I've got a couple prepared.
I got two as well.
Let's see what motivates you here. He co-created Seinfeld and the Three Needs Theory.
Oh, man.
Land.
Is it Larry?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Then it would be Larry David McClelland.
Yes, good
Okay.
memory.
I was prepared to have David McClelland DeGeneres.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like, it's got to be.
No.
That's why I asked if there's a D.
Yeah. You're very advanced.
Okay, you want one of mine?
Yep.
I'll give you this one here. It's German, and it's wonderful, but you are doggedly off track. It's German, and it's wonderful, and you are doggedly off track.
Wunder barking up the wrong tree.
That's it.
That's ridiculous. Wunderbar.
It's German, and it's wonderful.
Oh, that's funny. Strudel? Sausage?
What's German and wonderful?
David Hasselhoff?
Wunderbar. Okay. Knight
Okay.
Industries 2000.
I've got another one.
Okay.
This is seasonal, just so. This is why I was thinking about it. Chocolate with crushed candy canes is headed to the incorrect deciduous.
Oh, okay. Say it again.
Chocolate with crushed candy cane is headed to the incorrect deciduous.
I'm going to go with peppermint barking up the wrong tree.
Yes, it is.
Very nice. Very nice. I like that one. I was like, chocolate pear. Is there a word for that? I don't know. Well, I got one more, but we'll leave it for all our Village-Idiom children out there. Tell them how they can play.
For sure. Reach out to us on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebook, the YouTubes, or the X at 3 Minutes Gone.
I think you'll like this one.
Okay.
Way off track, Fido. You're saying this Halloween phrase backwards.
Okay, one more time.
You're way off track, Fido. You're saying this Halloween phrase backwards.
Okay. I'll have to chew on that, actually. And that is 3 Minutes Gone.
Chew on it like it's peppermint bark.
Well, it's a great season. Off to the races.
Don't go barking up the wrong tree this week.
We won't. I'm Skinny.
I'm Jurassic Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
Yes, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Last 3 minutes gone.